Hello and good morning and welcome to the Coffee with Christine show. I'm so excited that you're here. You're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Facebook. And if you are listening to the podcast, make sure you subscribe so I know you guys are listening. So let's go ahead and click record. All right, so welcome. And today is November the 14th of 2022. Today is episode number 48, Manifesting Monday. So I always love to pick a card to set an intention for the day, for today's session. So this is Six of Wands. So Six of Wands, let me show you guys. It is a gentleman sitting on a horse. He's moving forward. It looks like he's offering peace. And six usually represents perseverance and being able to move forward. Wands typically represents fire and passion. So we are looking at a person moving forward with fire and passion and perseverance, being able to step forward on their path and continue to move forward. They have a whole group of people walking next to them and celebrating, almost like a little parade party, ready to go, ready to celebrate. So perseverance in your heart and your passion. So that's going to be what we're going to focus on today as we move forward. So I forgot my coffee. I have a special guest here. You want to come say hi? I got my special guest, Mr. Goose. Can everyone say hello to Mr. Goose? I know, but I know. Can you say hi? Can you say hi to the camera? I know. I got you. So today we are going to be talking about low self-esteem. And I brought him up here for a couple of reasons. One, because he's not really feeling so good. So I decided that this would be a nice little change of pace for him. But then also, too, he actually represents what I'm going to be talking about today. Yes, I know, baby. So we have had, I've spoken to a handful of women who are going through a whole lot of craziness right now. And I want you guys to know that one of the things that my program can help with is low self-esteem. And I want to go into that a little bit today. And Goose here kind of helps us go into this because I really find that the way that we speak to our animals reflects very directly with how we speak to ourselves. And a lot of times, if you are kind and you are gentle with your animals, you are also very kind and gentle with yourself. I know. Come here, baby. You want to get down? Okay. I see you, Mr. Goose. I do. Oh, thank you. Okay. There we are. Okay. So can you say hi? So he's sitting there peeking in the background. But the way that we speak to our animals is actually a very direct reflection of how we speak to ourselves. And I remember when I was growing up, actually, it was probably about 7, 8 years ago. One of my friends had just recently gotten out of a relationship and a marriage, and it was a very abusive one. And I remember she brought her dog to come visit with us and was staying with us for a couple days. And she was using this kind of baby voice to talk to the dog and, oh, Rover, you're so blah, blah, blah. But then she would say these horrible, heartbreaking things. Oh, you're so dumb and you're so stupid. And it broke my heart to hear that coming from her about her animal. Because actually, in fact, her dog was very smart and she herself was brilliant. So I didn't understand, but I remember being shocked by that correlation with, if this is how she's speaking to her dog, it doesn't matter what kind of tone you're using. You're telling your animal that they're awful, that they're stupid, and if you're saying that to your dog, what are you saying and how are you saying that to yourself? And I remember that being something that I was very significantly moved by, because your self speak, your self talk, your self knowledge has to start somewhere, and it grows, and it comes in from how we learn to talk to ourselves. And if you've never learned how to talk to yourself in a kind and loving way, if you've never had someone else talk to you in a kind, loving way, you don't know what that sounds like. You don't know what that feels like. And it's hard for me to understand because I never grew up in a situation where I didn't know that I was loved. But I know a lot of my listeners and a lot of my women have grown up in situations like that. So while I personally haven't gone through anything like that, I can have the empathy to at least put myself in a mindset where I know how it would feel, or I can imagine how it would feel, even if I don't know directly. And I can take that and show you guys some of the things that you can do to really start feeling better about yourself. And the way that you speak to others and the way that others speak to you is also a reflection of not only their relationship with themselves, but your relationship with you too. What are you allowing, and how are you allowing others to speak to you? Because a lot of times they're going to be echoing not only what's in their head, but also what is in your head too. It's all part of the law of attraction. What you think of, you manifest. What you expect, you manifest. And if you expect people to talk mean to you, you're going to get people to talk mean to you. And that becomes the voice in your head. So I want you guys to really sit here, and this is going to sound so simple because it is. All right. I want you to really take stock in how you're speaking to yourself. I want you to write down a list and just be aware of how you are speaking to yourself. A lot of, well, that was dumb. I can't believe I did that. Well, oops, that was a mistake. Oops. The way that you frame it is going to change the way you speak to yourself. The way that you speak to yourself is going to change the way that you allow others to speak to you. And one of the other things that you can do is really truly find things that you love and truly find things that give you pleasure, whether it's reading, whether it's going for a ride on your bike, whether it's going for a walk in the evenings. Find something that you really truly find pleasure in and pursue that with everything you have. Because when you find something that brings you happiness, even if it's one small thing for 10 minutes a day, it's something that you can turn to, something you can do, something you know you're good at or can build your skills at, and thereby start building your self-esteem. Those are my strongest tips to you. And I hope that helps, and I hope that makes sense. Speak to yourself in a very loving way today. Change the way that you're thinking about yourself by changing the way you speak to yourself. Okay. If you guys want any help, any one-on-one guidance, let's go ahead and we'll set up a phone call. There's going to be information down in the link in the description below how to set up an assessment. I'd love to talk to you guys. I love speaking and understanding what you guys are going through and dealing with. And I think that it's very important that we all learn to not only speak to ourselves lovingly and gently, but how to speak to other people too. We give all our love to other people, but we don't give enough love to ourselves.